Our intro music is provided by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com.
Do you have a paranormal story you want to share on Night Dreams Talk Radio? You could be a guest. Email us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. Coming to you from some far point station, like a cosmic tumbleweed, both north and south of the Pleiades, here's your host, Gary Anderson.
That is me. I'm Gary, at least most of the time. Well, the weather up here at the harbor was beautiful the last few days. Now in the news it says, well, down at the harbor the weather's going to be fantastic, like summer-like. I don't know. This year has been, at least where I'm at, really confusing weather-wise. I mean, it's not been like it has been. So if we're going through global warming, I don't know. Because I'll tell you, it's been a really crappy summer so far. You know, reading about the Earth magnetic field is moving drastically fast. Right now, it's over the Canadian Arctic. I can't even say the word right now. And it's moving very quickly eastward, and very shortly will be crossing the path of the UK. James, what do you think about that?
Well, I'm curious how that will affect the paranormal world. That's what I'm curious about, not to mention the weather conditions and the climate and everything else. Along with, it messes up animals' migrational patterns possibly, too.
Well, just think about virtually every day, you know, when the pilot has to reprogram the computer in the planes, because if they didn't do it, you know what happened? Who knows where they take off in Nebraska and land back in Nebraska? Who knows where they would end up? I mean, they constantly have to make the adjustment because the magnetic field is moving way faster than any scientist ever thought it would be.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people don't realize if you're off just by a minute bit for your destination, how you calculate it by a few degrees, that totality of that is way off course.
Way off course. Who knows where you'd end up. And well, you mentioned something about Bigfoot being reported somewhere.
Yeah, apparently in Vermont, they put up signs saying Bigfoot this bridge is not closed on this certain street because of Bigfoot. You know, they didn't come out and say, hey, you know, it's in repairs or whatever. It just came out, there was flyers all over the town saying, hey, this bridge is not closed because of Bigfoot, which was kind of, you know, peculiar. Why would they just come out and say that, you know? But then they're saying, oh, it was just somebody's over imagination saying that, messing with people. But they were all over town. And the other funny thing about that, the neighboring state, New Hampshire, just I think last week, it was, or a few days ago, there was reports of Bigfoot breaking into cars, a guy reported. And my question is, why is Bigfoot breaking in cars? Was he looking for change to buy some beef jerky? I mean, come on.
Well, of course, beer, maybe. But, you know, could you imagine, you have a Bigfoot break in your car. Now they broke your window or tore the door off, one of the two, right, to get whatever they wanted out of your car. How do you explain that to your frickin' insurance company, huh?
You bring up a good point. I won't even ask the question I want to ask, so I'll let it go. But
well,
yeah, that's a good.
I can say that because I've been dealing, you know, because my motorcycle was totaled, and I've been going around, and finally they decided to pay it off today. But for 2 weeks, I've been going, you know, around and around with the insurance company, asking all these stupid questions. Yeah, well, you know, I had my car parked on 156th Street. And when I got back, all the witness said that some Bigfoot tore the door off, and they tore up the upholstery and all that. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, what would they do? I mean, would they take you serious? I really doubted it.
And you know, the thing is, even if they took you serious where you live in Washington, which has got a lot of sightings, well known, they would probably say, well, Bigfoot. Yeah, there's a lot of sightings, a lot of chances of him destroying something of yours, so your insurance rate's going to be high for that coverage anyway. So I think they got you coming or going either way.
Yeah, I wonder how your rates would go up too, because I think they label you as a crackpot.
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
possibly.
And then in the news today, it's sci-fi day, it seems like, because, how long have I been talking on my show about, we need to watch where these asteroids are coming. The government needs to spend some money, to keep track of them. Well, now today, the scientists have come up with the idea that they need to come up with a way to deflect these asteroids from hitting Earth. Because, it's just a matter of time. We're playing craps here, my friend. One of these days, this huge asteroid's going to slam into Earth, and who knows how much damage it could do. I mean, it could be a total life, extinction problem.
Stuff from space hits I forget how many tons hit the Earth every day. And a lot of it burns up and don't even hit the Earth. However, there is so much space junk up there and asteroids and comets and whatnot that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when one big enough. Even one half the size of a football field could cause a lot of problems, big time.
Well, there's one. It's supposed to be coming by shortly. It's supposed to skim the Earth's atmosphere at about 1,900 miles from the Earth. And this one is bigger as the Empire State Building. Now, could you imagine that? And they said, we'll be able to see this one with our naked eyes. That is getting darn scary. I am not going to go see it. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to take the blanket and put over my head. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but at least I'll feel more secure that way. It works for the boogeyman that comes out from underneath the bed.
Another factor that comes into these things, what if one was that size and it skimmed the Earth, but close enough where it took half the atmosphere with it? Because these things are...
Oh, come on, James. I don't say we lost you. We lost James. Yeah, that could be, he was saying, like, it could just scoop up, like, part of the atmosphere. I think then you would be looking at, hundreds of miles an hour winds or even faster, and then that would be maybe a life, extinction here on Earth. It is scary. I mean, it's just...
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but you keep...
Okay.
What did you do? Play with your button?
I haven't moved. That's freaky. Maybe we're talking about something we shouldn't. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound loud and clear.
Okay, wait a minute. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yeah, not as good, but yeah.
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yeah, no, you're getting a little bit lower, but I hear you.
Okay, so are we done now saying, can you hear me?
I hope so, because I'm getting tired of saying yeah.
Okay, well, I was getting tired of saying that. That was a little pun towards you. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
And then in the news today, our president kind of got caught again. This time, one of the staffers of the White House ratted out on the president. The president got on, national everything, showing the storm. And what he was showing on the TV tube of the storm coming in, it was dockered. And to make it look worse than it actually was. And that just leaked all over the news here this afternoon. And that, by the way, is a federal offense to docker any weather forecast.
Well, my question is, how the heck... Well, first of all, why would he doctor it? Because there are so many radars out there all over TV and meteorologists nowadays and technology. You're not going to get away with that. So I don't understand the concept or his mind thinking if that's true and he really did that. It's just...
Well,
I don't know.
Go on all the news and you'll see it. It's been on the news all day, James. I'm surprised you didn't see it.
I'm surprised too.
A lot of things that it's going on in Washington, D.C., it just doesn't make logical sense, does it?
It doesn't, because that doesn't make sense. It's like, today, you can't get away with anything today. Everybody's got cell phones, from a 7-year-old little girl to a 90-year-old man. So you can't get away with stuff. Not to mention, there's so many, there's 4,000 satellites up there right now filming. So how are you going to get away with faking anything like that? It is just, you need to reset your mindset or something. Something's wrong.
Yeah, and you got to watch what you say. I mean, When you have somebody, a congressman or a senator or a president or vice president, they have to be truthful. Or if they can't be truthful, then they shouldn't say anything. They should just avoid it, and say, hey, I can't talk about it, and make some reason why they can't. But to come up and say ludicrous, stories on certain things that just constantly flow out of somebody's mouth. And I, like I said, I voted for Trump. I like a lot of things Trump did, but it's got major apparent to me that he's talking, and I don't know, maybe he has the first stage of Alzheimer's. I don't know. Well, something's going on.
Well, I mean, it could be. It's hard to say. I do know that in this day and age, you can't get away with stuff no more. Even Richard Nixon there, he couldn't even get away with stuff, and that was 40-some years ago. So imagine today, everybody's got recording devices of some sort. When you're under public eye like that, you're under microscope 24/7. So you really got to cross your T's and dot your I's really good and neat.
Yeah, and then he's been on the news again. He's to build his wall. He's taken a whole bunch of money from the military. He's taken a whole bunch of money for programs to build schools, to build his wall. Hey, the wall can wait. We need to work on our grid system, our power system. Back when they had the telegraph days, there was a flare. And, even some of the telegraph operators died because of the charge coming down the line. It blew up the telephone or telegraph poles and all that stuff. Could you imagine? We could fix, for the money that this wall is, we could fix our grid system. So we don't have to worry about, the power going out for a year or two or three. A lot of people don't realize we don't make the transformers anymore. They're made in countries like India and other stuff where they can get away because they don't have the laws that the EPA put down for the toxic oils and chemicals in those transformers. So we don't make